No.
No.
I'm not with him.
No. Aw.
Yeah. Not by choice, but, I respect him. It's all love.
It's not your choice?
I wouldn't have chose it, but it was what was best. But I wouldn't have chose it, no.
After all the money, time, and effort Yo Gotti poured into making Angela Simmons his woman, everyone thought she was about to become the queen of Memphis. It seemed like the perfect fairy tale. The street king finally finding his ride or die. The two looked like they were ready to build an empire together and ride off into the sunset. So imagine everyone's shock when Angela suddenly announced that she was single again and officially in her single girl era, my choice. She said during an interview, I just had to make a decision. There's a certain level of what I will share publicly, and I can say that I'm not with him anymore. But as far as details, I would just never. That vague answer sent the internet into a frenzy. Fans started digging for clues, trying to figure out what really went down. Did Angela catch Yo Gotti with another woman? Were the rumors about him and Glorilla true? Did Angela finally get tired of the disrespect? Nobody knew for sure. But according to Angela, the truth might be way darker than anyone expected. See, when she started dating Yo Gotti, Angela already knew there might be some drama. Dating a rapper with fame, money, and attention from women wasn't easy, and she was prepared to deal with that part. But what she didn't expect was getting caught in something much deeper, a brewing street war connected to Yo Gotti's name. Angela reportedly told close friends that she began to feel unsafe. With how angry people still are over young Dolph's death, she felt the energy around Gotti's camp was shifting. According to her, law enforcement might have to start digging deeper into CMG and Yo Gotti just to keep peace in the streets. That's not the kind of danger Angela wanted to invite into her life, or her son's. Their relationship had already been a wild ride from the start. For years, Yo Gotti made it clear he was head over heels for her. He literally rapped about her for 6 straight years, calling her his dream girl before she finally agreed to give him a chance in early 2023. When they finally made it official, fans went crazy. He spoiled her constantly, designer bags, private trips, luxury gifts, and he got along great with her son. Angela said more than once that she believed he was the one, and even hinted at wanting to marry him. To the outside world, it looked like the king of Memphis had finally found his queen. But behind the smiles and social media posts, cracks were forming. Angela eventually confirmed on the Angie Martinez podcast that it was over. She didn't want to give details, but made it clear that while it wasn't her plan to end things, it was something she had to do, for her safety, her peace, and her future. Fans were stunned. How did she go from saying he was her forever to saying leaving him was her best decision? Something clearly wasn't adding up. And if Angela's hints are true, this breakup wasn't about cheating or clout. It might have been about survival. Nobody really knows when or how Angela and Yo Gotti's issues began. But if there's one thing the internet never fails to do, it's dig until it finds something. And that's exactly what happened. Word on the street was that Yo Gotti's attention may have been drifting elsewhere, specifically toward Glorilla, after he surprised her with a brand new Cadillac Escalade, IQ for her 25th birthday. That alone raised eyebrows, but then fans remembered that he'd already gifted her expensive watches in the past. Now sure, Glorilla is signed to Gotti's CMG label, so technically it could all be business, but let's be honest, this wouldn't be the first time a rapper started dating their artist. Allegedly. So naturally, people online started connecting dots. They began speculating that Angela had seen enough and decided to walk away before she got caught up in Yo Gotti's mess and ended up being embarrassed in public. Rumors spread like wildfire, some saying Gotti dumped her, others claiming Angela left because she found out about another woman, but Angela wasn't having any of it. She publicly shut down the gossip, calling it BS. She made it clear that if she wanted to marry Yo Gotti, she could have, meaning she left on her own terms. According to her, what really pushed her away wasn't women. It was the violence in Memphis. See, the bodies started piling up, and all roads seemed to trace back to the ongoing fallout from young Dolph's murder. Since Dolph's death, the streets of Memphis have been divided, and anyone even remotely connected to CMG or Yo Gotti started to fall victim to targeted attacks. The first to go was Don D. Money Childs, who had once joked about Dolph's passing. That tragedy seemed to trigger a string of shootings that just wouldn't stop. In 2022, Big Enki, a rapper signed to Moneybagg Yo and cousin of Big 30, was also shot. Later, people began linking him to Justin Johnson, better known as Straight Drop. one of the main suspects in Dolph's killing. Straight Drop, along with Cornelius Smith, Hernandez Govan, and others, were all tied not just to CMG and Yo Gotti, but also to the Memphis gang Trula Mafia. The gang's OG, Joshua Taylor, aka CEO Tizzy, was even listed as a person of interest in the case. But before investigators could reach him, he was gunned down in June 2023, and the violence didn't end there. Just a few months earlier, in September 2022, rising Memphis rapper Lada Cash Desto was shot multiple times and pronounced dead before she could even make it to the hospital. At first, nobody could understand why she'd been targeted, until new connections began to surface. Nobody really expected the chaos that followed. The internet went into full detective mode, and soon, people uncovered a chilling connection. Lada Cash Desto, the Memphis rapper who was gunned down in 2022, was actually the daughter of Hernandez Govan, one of the main suspects in Young Dolph's murder. That revelation hit the streets like a thunderclap. And it didn't stop there. The next target showed just how deep this feud had become. In August 2023, police confirmed that a man named Tomuel Benson had been killed. That man turned out to be Black Youngsta's brother, an artist under Yo Gotti's CMG label, and one of the first people to start beefing with Young Dolph on Yo Gotti's behalf. He was also rumored to have been part of the first serious attempt on Dolph's life years before. Through all of this bloodshed, one name kept surfacing: Yo Gotti. Despite being one of the most frequently mentioned figures in the ongoing street war, he remained untouched. His homes, businesses, and family were secure. But the streets don't forget, and according to many in Memphis, Dolph's crew wasn't going to let that slide for long. Soon after, reports surfaced that members of Dolph's circle were actively targeting Gotti's family. His mother allegedly survived an attack that left her shaken, but his older brother, Big Jook, wasn't so lucky. Big Jook had a reputation for mocking Young Dolph's death on social media. He often posted clips bragging and laughing, including one where he said, "Don't play about legacy, 2 gangstas, 1 name." But what made things worse was a rumor that Big Jook was the one who allegedly put a $100,000 bounty on Dolph's head, encouraging others to make a move. So when he was killed in January 2024, while attending his uncle's funeral, many believed it was retaliation, the final chapter of a deadly cycle that had been spinning for years. Police never identified any suspects, but the streets believed that Dolph's team had completed their mission. The level of get-back after Dolph's death was unlike anything the rap world had ever seen. For 3 straight years, Memphis was drenched in tension and tragedy, all of which, many argue, could have been avoided if Yo Gotti had simply accepted that Young Dolph didn't want to sign to CMG and wanted to build his own empire. What started as professional competition turned personal. Yo Gotti went from respecting Dolph's independence to resenting it, trying to strong-arm him into signing under his label. That decision, according to countless insiders, set off a chain reaction that would forever change Memphis hip-hop. And now, word is that Yo Gotti himself might be facing more than just bad press. With the way Young Dolph's trial has been unfolding, legal experts and insiders are saying things could get very uncomfortable for Gotti. One of the main suspects, Hernandez Govan, who prosecutors accused of orchestrating the entire hit, was acquitted on August 21, 2025. The jury found him not guilty of both conspiracy and first-degree murder. And the reason? Govan's defense turned the spotlight directly on Yo Gotti and CMG. His lawyers argued that Govan was a scapegoat, a nobody used to protect powerful figures in Memphis's music scene. They said that police and prosecutors never even bothered to interview Big Jook or Yo Gotti, despite their long-running feud with Young Dolph and alleged business connections to some of the suspects. In court, Govan's defense called out the justice system, saying, "They want a conviction on camera, not the truth. They go after the man without money, not the men with power." Hernandez is a pawn in CMG's chess game. That line hit social media instantly. Within hours, Free Govan was trending, and even more people began calling for a federal investigation into CMG's possible involvement. Now, with Hernandez Govan walking free, the streets are restless again. Dolph's supporters believe that justice still hasn't been served, and whispers are spreading that the feds are quietly building a RICO case against Yo Gotti and his team. According to Angela Simmons, that was the final straw. She had seen the pattern, the violence, the rumors, the investigations, and she wasn't about to become collateral damage in someone else's war. She reportedly told close friends that she loved Yo Gotti, But she loved her peace and safety more. And honestly, who could blame her? Whether or not the feds have a solid case, the tension in Memphis is still thick. Every few weeks, another rumor pops up about sealed indictments or surveillance evidence linking CMG affiliates to the shooting scene. Even WAC 100 jumped in, saying on Clubhouse, Yo Gotti about to get hit with a RICO next. I'm telling y'all, don't do no street stuff if you don't have to. The system loves to watch us take each other out for entertainment. It's a game to them. And that comment summed up what many were thinking. The violence, the egos, the endless revenge, it's all gone way beyond rap. The truth is, Yo Gotti might be running out of time, and Angela Simmons got out just in time. Whether she left for safety, sanity, or self-respect, one thing's clear. She saw the storm coming long before it hit. Now the internet's asking the same question. Was Angela smart for leaving when she did? Or is the whole RICO case talk just internet exaggeration? Let's hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below, hit that like button, and subscribe for more deep dives. Because this story, it's far from over.